Yo, 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 yo. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Another episode of Habari Live. This week we have a special, really very special guest in the house. We have a journalist and award-winning Edward R. Murrow recipient and an Emmy nominee who joined ABC 15 in November 2021. We want to welcome Venton Blandin to the show. What's up, man?
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Pretty good. We're doing great. We're doing great, and we really appreciate you coming through, bro. This really is a pleasure to meet you, and you are doing a lot of good things across the country. So we wanted to get people, our visitors, our listeners, a chance to talk to someone who has came from Chicago and moved all around the world or the nation, I would say, and became a top-notch journalist, almost a Emmy-winning journalist. So
Thank you so
that's
much.
pretty cool, man.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a blast. It's been a lot of years, a lot of fun, a lot of hurt, a lot of pain,
Yeah.
struggle, frustration, all that. Everybody's got those emotions in their jobs. I have
Right.
them all the time too. I just play a guy on TV.
Right, man. It's so awesome. So what? I know you're from Chicago, and you grew up near Garfield Park, right?
Right,
And
Hamlin and Lake,
That's north,
West Side.
west side.
West
Wow,
side.
that's a tough side, man.
Yeah, it was
That's
tough.
I know that's a tough area. You got a lot of vice lords running around there, right?
Crips, Vice Lords, FOCH.
Right, Four Corner
look,
Hustlers.
Yeah, I
Man.
remember that. Wow, I know what it means. But I remember seeing it on the wall and stuff. So
Yeah, man, that's a crazy area, and you
You know what it was?
made the
Fast too.
decision as a youngster to start chasing news, right? What made you make that decision, and what was it that inspired you to become a journalist and start looking at the news?
Well, I think everybody has some kind of defining moment in their life.
Mhm.
Something happens, whether you're walking down the street and somebody says, "Whew, I'm tired." Oh, I see Habari Entertainment. What's that? Let me knock on the door. And they meet Damon, Iesha, Jimmy, meet all of you guys. And then they figure out, wow, I really like what they're doing.
Right.
And that puts in them that spark. So for me, that spark or that defining moment was living at I was on Lake Street at the time, 3858 West Lake Street. My family
Wow.
ain't there, so I'm gonna shout out the address. But people were shot. I
Wow.
think there were 5. I consistently say there were 5 people, but there could have been 7 people shot. I don't know if they were dead or whatever, but I remember Jackie Bang with WMAQ TV, Channel 5, the NBC owned station,
Mhm.
knocking on the door just like I do every day and said, "Hey, anybody home that I can talk to?" And I was like, "Hi." Ooh, trying to get around the door. I'm looking at that
Right.
big van with 50 TVs in it, that long antenna that went all the way
Right.
into the clouds.
Definitely.
Now, mind you, doing this job nearly 30 years now, I'm like, oh, that was just a little van with 3 tiny TVs and a 50-foot pass.
Right.
But so from that moment, I still remember to this day, and if y'all Google her, Jackie Bang, she's with WGN now,
Wow.
but she had a hot pink silk blouse on and a
Right.
navy blue skirt. She had the peacock and the 5, and just talked to her. I went out into the van, started looking around, just asking
Wow.
questions. Don't remember what I asked, but I still see that image. From that day, I went to the TV station.
Wow.
Then I just stuck with it, and here we are.
Wow. So you started going around. You said you were going to the Jerry Springer and the Jenny Jones show when it was down in Chicago with the NBC news station. So you went to the same station that she was from, huh?
Exactly, and that's what it is, 454 Tower Drive,
Okay.
downtown Chicago.
Right.
When you walk in, it's NBC News, and you walk around, you turn right, the studio's there, you turn left, and you see
Wow.
the lines for Jenny Jones, and you see the lines for Jerry Springer.
Wow.
Mind you, a studio, this is the number 3rd market in the country. I don't know
Yeah.
what it was at the time, probably 2 or 3. But they were all there, and I was just sit there. You cannot do this today, because I think about this when I talk to kids.
Mhm.
I think I broke child labor laws back in the day. I think I broke rules. That was before 9/11. That was
Right.
before social media. That you couldn't really do much except call,
Right.
wait.
Right.
Hey, call me back. I'm about to choke this person. Like you couldn't
Right.
really do anything instantaneously.
Definitely.
But I was sitting there every day and just talk and listen. There was an old man. I see him. I don't know his name. He's probably dead and gone now because he was old then.
Right.
But he sat there and just took a liking to me, and we talked. And I would see the news stars go by. They were journalists, not news stars, but
Right.
I thought they were news stars.
Mhm.
Then I would see Jenny Jones come by, Jerry Springer go by, and I would wave. And, they probably had no clue, probably thought I was the man's family or something. So
Right.
they would wave, and I'd be like, oh my God, oh my God. So that was fascinating to me. And then
Wow.
after a while of doing that, some people brought me in, and I can shout those names now. If you got people in Chicago listening, Art Norman, Renee Ferguson, Carol Marine, Mark Giangreco,
Wow.
all those people used to bring me in, Jackie Bank,
And these are top-notch journalists in the
Yeah.
Chicago area, right?
Folks who have been on TV all my life.
Right.
I'm in my 40s. They've
Mhm.
been on the air about 40 years. And
Wow.
it's so funny because we're like on Twitter now. I could text them, and I'm like one of the drinking buddies.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, it's so funny.
Man, that is crazy. And I mean, to meet the people that you see on TV is always exciting, especially as a kid, because you look at it and you think it's another world, and it's something that you can never get to. And to be able to touch these people and talk to these people, it definitely inspires kids to be able to do something and see something different. And that's what I'm all about, man, because I just want kids to see that we can do something different as a whole. People who coming from areas that no matter what color you are, race you are, but if you're coming from an area and you're struggling, and you can still make it out of that area and become successful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the key part, making it out. And I think that's the only reason, because I think I'm wired different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little crazy. I'm a little I've always done things differently. And growing up in Chicago, it was so much bad. All those shootings, the drugs, everything. I used to walk right through it and didn't think anything, but you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
But that propelled me, I think, to just always do something. I used to take the train downtown. If people know the West Side, it would probably take me 15 minutes to hop on a train, get
Mhm.
downtown. I go down Lake. I get off at Adams or Wacker, and then walk a couple blocks.
Right.
Go by State Street, Channel 7, WLS,
Right.
ABC owned.
Wow.
It's right there on State Street. NBC was there. WGN was about 10 minutes from Grandma's house the other way. So they
Right.
were it's all the city, but they were farther in the urban area,
Right.
not downtown. And Fox, never really did a lot with Fox, but
Mhm.
the ABC, NBC, and
And
CBS, all that stuff.
how old were you? Just running around the city by yourself, catching an L, just going where you want?
Yeah, can't do this. I mean, you can, I guess, but I was 10,
Wow.
9,
Wow.
11. I remember that time because I moved from
No,
Chicago.
somebody would have called the police on
Yep.
you.
Yeah, you can't do that
Nowadays,
today.
No,
no.
you can't.
But you can't even, man, like, let's see, probably up to 12, because I moved from Chicago at
Right.
12 years old. I was almost 13, but at least from 9, 10, 11, 12,
Wow.
doing it. I used to get the, back in the day, because don't email me, they don't do this now, but the
Right.
TV people used to give me the free White Sox tickets. I get 15 tickets. I would go take it back, skipping through the hood. Like, hey, here we go. And all of us, we went to the White Sox. We didn't get a lot of Cubs tickets, but we got a lot of
No.
Bulls tickets.
Right.
Didn't get a lot of Bears because they were awesome back in the day.
Mhm.
So, but that was one of those things, and I just thought that was what I was supposed to do. So I think I walked into my destiny, if you
Yeah,
will.
man.
And
Yeah.
so here I
Hey,
am.
that's amazing. And from there, you moved on to Maryland?
From Chicago?
Mhm.
No, I went from Chicago to South Carolina
Oh, okay.
because my
Okay.
grandma, she was like, "Baby, we got to get up out this city. If you
Greenville,
want to
South
be,
Carolina, right?
yeah, if you want to be on TV,
Mhm.
you better get up out of here. You ain't gonna be shooting all my grandkids and stuff
Right.
like that." So it was just my sister at the time.
Wow.
She's 10 years behind me, so
Mhm.
I was the only kid for 10 years. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. Maybe I was a handful. I don't know. But so I moved to South Carolina. I went to high school. It was the most boring thing in the world
I
for me.
bet.
I mean, literally, I didn't know anything. I'm like, hey, I'm going for a ride. And here I am riding 10, 11 hours over there. Yeah, this U-Haul. I didn't have any point of reference to understand
Mhm.
that was a move. I just thought, okay, we're going for a ride. But I started my freshman year of high school. No, I started 8th grade. I think I was in 8th grade for about
Mhm.
2 months. I was like, why do I even have to go to school? Like, this is stupid. But anyway, I did it. Then I got out for the summer. Then I went to high school. So that was kind of where I experienced that. And after high school, I graduated and went into the Marine Corps.
Yeah, straight to the Marine
So,
Corps.
yep. So, I took a year off. I was like, okay, whatever.
How did you make it to the Corps, bro?
We are the best. We are more mental.
You a tough motherfucker. That's not easy, man.
I ride
Marines
that.
ain't for the weak.
Right.
I met some tough guys who couldn't even make it through basic camp, man.
It's weird. It's weird because I don't think I'm that dude, but
That's crazy,
apparently
bro.
I am. But I tell you, the Marine Corps is just mental. It's just really mental, because I'm getting smaller.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I was like a size 32 at that point. I
Right.
got some pictures. If I would have known, I should have brought them. But it's like No body fat on the face. I
Wow.
looked chiseled. I was good, man.
Wow.
I'm surprised I ain't married now. But I was like, so anyway, but so I've rounded out now, if you will.
Right.
But it's mostly mental.
crazy,
It's
man.
physical, but the physical stuff will come off. You
Right.
know, if there are any
Did
Marines.
you not to cut you off, but
Mhm.
did you grow up with a dad?
Yeah, well, I had my dad and my stepdad.
Okay.
You know, and that's the thing. So as I said, I grew up in the 300 block of Hamlin.
Was he pretty tough?
Not really. You know, we'll get into that too. But my mom and dad had some drug and alcohol issues back in the day.
Wow.
So it was like,
I'm
I don't
I'm
know.
just wondering, man. It's hard to take the Marines. You know, you go
It's-
into that, and I mean, you would think you would come from authoritative parents, so you would be used to the.
Child, no.
Wow,
Look, I call
that's
my daddy
crazy.
every few days, probably every week. I called him yesterday. Hey, son, how you doing? Like, I'm good. What you up to? You know, it's like
Wow.
he's like, I'm the daddy. I'm like, okay, dad, I love you. Bye. You know, so
Right.
he wasn't really authoritative.
Right.
Mom, they chill. I mean, like to this day, people probably think we're brothers and sisters. Like we just have
I have
fun.
that good of a relationship.
Yeah, but I always respect my,
That's
honor that
that's
mother and that
definitely
father.
awesome,
But
man.
yeah, but I mean, we cool. Like I could do anything without them. And they're my stepdad, and we're all friends. Well, they're all friends. So
Mhm.
when we go to the Emmy Awards, I take them.
Wow.
You know, and I look just like I'm gonna show you a picture. I look just like my stepdad, I think. And I don't think I look like my dad, but
That's
if you
right.
see him, you will probably say I do because everybody feel like, boy, you look like your daddy right,
Right,
there.
right.
You wear that hat and that suit. That's like
You look just like you lie. I don't see it.
stepdad's light skin. My biological father's brown
a
skin.
little bit
So,
darker. Yeah. Yeah, man. So you was honorably discharged, right?
Right.
98. So you spent how many years? 5, 6 years?
Yep, it was 4 years, 11 months, and a few days. That's on my DD 214 because
Mhm.
right after 9/11, it was stop lost, and so I ended up staying a few extra weeks or whatever,
Mhm.
months technically. But the way I did 8 years, 4 active, 4 as a reserve inactive. So it wasn't anything to just stay longer, you know.
Right.
So I transitioned. I was doing college on my way out of the military. I did it on base in
Wow.
DC. I went to Bowie State University.
Right.
Bulldog. Shout out to Tony Braxton. She's one of our board of governors or directors. And Gladys Knight has some
Wow.
ties to our board too. So that was pretty cool. It's a HBCU.
Mhm.
Not many people think about it. I don't even know if I really knew it then because my frat, I'm not, I'm not in any frats, but I always say my frat is the Marine Corps. I don't
Right.
need anything else,
Yeah.
So
That's definitely a deep frat.
right, few the proud.
And so you went from there, and you went on to work at the DOJ.
Yeah, so I had a few TV stops before then. So 98, I did the school. Then I worked at NBC Washington.
Oh, okay.
Yep, from 99, I think.
Yeah, 99 to
99.
2002, WRC
Yep.
TV in Washington, D.C.
Yep, that's NBC News,
and
Washington.
Baltimore. So you lived in Baltimore and Chicago. And you've seen some of the worst cities that America has to offer.
Yeah, but they're good.
They're still
man.
great cities, right?
Growing up in Chicago, I think it prepared me, or I understood. We know what we know,
Mhm.
and South Baltimore was something, Cherry Avenue, stuff like that. And it's kind of weird. Most cities with the Cherry Avenue
Yeah.
often have problems. I'm like, that what is that? That's like Dr. Martin Luther King Drive. Like, can we
Every
ever
rip,
get a
man.
Dr. Martin Luther
Can
King
we
Drive
have
in a
one? That's
suburb?
nice.
But I loved it. Charm City.
Oh,
That's
yeah, yeah.
Baltimore. It's
Yeah,
33
man.
miles up. So I used to live in Landover, Maryland. That's
Wow.
where the Redskins Stadium.
Yeah,
or,
do they still have their stadium there in
uh-huh,
Landover?
mhm.
Okay.
FedEx Field.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's right there off of 202.
Wow.
But so I used to live not far around there. Then I was on base down in Prince William County, Virginia. So
Mhm.
at one point I was 25 miles outside DC. Then I was 10 miles outside DC. But Bowie State was about 15 miles west.
And that's a HBCU that's not talked about as often as others.
And we got a football team.
Mhm. They must not be that good.
No. I mean, I hate to say horrible because I can't play myself. But
Right.
basketball, they got a baseball team. And Bowie Bay Sox, the city has a team.
Wow, had you ever heard of them? You from Virginia?
Okay,
heard
what
of
what part of VA?
Danville,
Okay,
Chatham,
okay, yeah,
Southern
Yeah,
Virginia.
that's where NASCAR country is, isn't it?
Mhm.
That's like racing, and man.
we host the Martinsville
Yes, Martinsville
Speedway,
or
Martinsville
something?
Speedway.
Mhm.
Oh my God, y'all are taking me back. Wow.
Yeah, man.
I ain't thought about none of them areas.
Man, you have traveled, sir.
So that was all my behind the scenes stuff. So after Baltimore, I left Baltimore in 2004, and that's when I began my reporting career.
Oh,
And I went to Charlottesville, Virginia. I started the CBS station.
wow.
There was a CBS there that never did news. So they said, "Oh, we're going to start a newscast." And I was like, "Let me apply. That's only 2 hours from DC. I'm not going too far.
Right.
I'm sick of moving in the military all these years of living in other countries and things like that."
Right.
But so I went to that CBS station. I was a one-man band reporter. That's where I wrote and did everything. Oh my God, I paid my dues. Good God Almighty.
You was a one man by yourself, the
Yep.
only reporter.
Exactly.
Wow.
You know, like I shot my video, I wrote my video, I edited the video, I wrote the web stories. And you know, web was still kind of really new for news stations.
Right.
Like you get it on, you get it not. It wasn't fancy. Just throw some words up. Now it's like, man, these web stories have to look as good as the TV stories.
They do.
But from there, I went to Charleston, South Carolina, worked at WCIV TV. That's the ABC station.
Good.
I was there about a year. We didn't get along, so we agreed to nil that contract. You know, I'm proud to say it now. I got fired.
Right.
And then the news director was fired right after me, so I should have played the game of chicken and see who was left.
Right.
Because what I got fired for was something stupid. It was personality, but I think it was my mouth. You know, I was like, whatever.
Right.
The Marine Corps was still kind of fresh in me, so I kind of thought maybe I was smelling myself. I don't know. But from there, I got this job on Facebook in a Facebook Messenger chat. I saw a buddy who said, "Oh, my friend is a news director in Huntsville, Alabama."
Right.
So I sent her that. I remember it was on a Sunday night. And I was like, "Hey, how are you? My name is Venton Blandin. Blah, blah." I don't know all the rest. But, "Oh, well, I have a situation. I might have a temporary job, no benefits, no anything, just pay." I was like, "Come to Huntsville." But I was so ingrained in TV. I was like, let me try this job. Alabama, Podunk, Alabama. What in ew.
Right.
But Alabama, I will say that is where I honed my skills. I was in Huntsville, Alabama. That place has a special spot in my heart.
Really?
My home church is there where my membership resides. I talk to the people every day.
Wow.
5,000 people on my social media, probably 4,000 from
Alabama.
that market,
Wow.
outside the family.
Yeah.
But did that for about 5 years, and I went to Birmingham, Alabama. Now, this was where I was really getting good, you know. So Birmingham, I did a lot of national coverage, a lot of mass shootings and things like that, traveled the country. From Birmingham, I went to St. Louis, the Lou.
Dun, dun, dun.
I was at KMOV News 4 for a while, and man, that place was phenomenal for me.
Wow. Well, I'm trying to think of the Connor's
restaurant.
No, I'm trying to think. That was one of the head reporters there for a long time.
Oh, Larry Connor.
Yeah, there you
Larry
go.
Connor, I think he was gone before.
Oh, he was gone before you got there.
But we have a studio marking for him.
Yeah, because he was a legend in St. Louis, man.
I forget this situation. I think it was something that maybe he retired. I don't know. I'm not going to misspeak. Google it if y'all want to know. So from KMOV, you know, the presidential stuff was coming up, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sick of the pandemic stuff. I'm so sick of this. Let me just step back for a little bit. And I took a break from TV. I signed off the air August 15th of 2020.
Okay.
I started at the Department of Justice as a spokesperson with the U.S. Attorney on August 25th, and then I left them on August 8th of 2021. Hired here in late September, started November 1st, and here I am.
So was it a roll of the dice to come here, or you was just happenstance, or did you want to come here like
not a roll of the dice? So I was looking for opportunities. You know, like you guys look for jobs.
Definitely.
Some people look for the place, the city, the whatnot. And our industry is so specialized. You know, it's like, well, you can't just hire a reporter because you want one. You have slots and billets. So I was like, oh, this is an opening in Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix. Yeah, it's hot. I've never lived out west. I've lived overseas. I'm good on that.
Right.
So I started talking with the CEO of Scripps Broadcasting on LinkedIn.
Okay.
I started talking with other people, and I just happened to follow the CEO of Scripps for a while.
Wow.
And then I sent a note of something like, and this was funny. It was about 3 weeks before I left. I was like, hey, I'm thinking about doing TV. I don't know. Because my goal was to stay out of TV for a couple of years. Use that as resume filler, you know, being a Fed, working with the the presidential administration, working with AGR
Wow.
and things like that. Maybe I'll come back in 2 years. I'm young.
Right.
Ooh, no, I could retire at 54 with all my pension and things like that. And then some things changed, and it was like, okay, let me talk. So I talked with who did I talk to? I talked with CBS. I think I can say it all. I talked with CBS ONOs in Miami. I talked with Fox. I talked with some other stations. Then I talked with station groups. I was looking at going to my old company of KMOV to go somewhere else. And then I really liked the spirit of Scripps and the people who were there who I've known from other cities, because
Right.
we always migrate.
Mm-hmm.
And talking with them, and they seemed to take a liking to me. So I interviewed with 4 stations in the company:
Okay.
Grand Rapids, Michigan; Norfolk, Virginia;
Wow. Just flying all over.
somewhere else, Richmond. I talked with Richmond. I went somewhere else, and then it was here,
Mhm.
and I was still like, I don't know about Phoenix.
Right.
It's
So
just no. I
hot.
mean, it was just I always say you don't know what you don't know, and
Right.
you have no point of reference.
That's real.
I think I knew it was hot.
Mhm.
I knew it was the valley. I don't think I understood valley hot.
Right.
I knew valley was hot, but I don't think I knew it was hot.
Right.
So, and I was talking, never flew out here.
Mhm.
I had been here before just for like a day, and I was
Right.
like, oh, that's just a hot day, whatever. I didn't get it. But talking with the company again, I got an offer at a couple of the other stations, and then offer came here, and I wasn't sure about it, and I actually said, nah, I'm gonna go to their other station.
Wow.
Now I had the same recruiter, and it was like, dude, you want this? And I was like, ooh, what's the money? Then, yeah, okay, let me go back to Phoenix, because Phoenix is number 11 in the country, maybe number 12 now.
Mhm.
But it was like, if I'm gonna make that, let me go ahead and do this and be in a larger market. At least I get to experience the world.
Right. Right.
And then talking with the people here, interviewing, I was like, wow, they are some good people, like genuine. And I still feel that way.
Mhm.
I've been here almost 7 months, and I got a good station, a good company, good people.
Yeah.
There's not one person in the building, and that's news, sales, or whatever,
Wow.
that I don't like.
That's cool.
And that's key for
And
me.
that's definitely cool. That's
Because
what you want.
yeah, back in the day, you used to go for pay, you used to
Mhm.
go for this, but
Mhm.
I've taken jobs. Obviously, I don't make as much now compared to what I made as a federal employee.
Right.
But your work is fulfilling. Like you guys do this thing.
Mhm.
You got a modest studio,
Right.
but you're doing what you love, and who knows? You're probably gonna knock down that wall and grow. You might paint
Right.
that wall and do this. You
Definitely.
might get you a glass desk. It's like
Right.
you have to work and build up.
Definitely.
So that's how that goes for me.
Hey man, and
Hey.
it's definitely inspiring what you done, Venton, and everything. And we love everything you're doing, man. And us, trying to build something towards news.
Yeah.
We're looking at you as an inspiration for us as a company and for many others. And that's why we, I'm saying, I had to have you on. Let's go to a real quick break, man. Bring up a quick commercial. We'll be right back here.
Habari Entertainment Films present There's Only One Name for News with Damon and Iesha. Habari Live Podcast. Habari Entertainment, a race against time. On a quest for glory. Habari News Weekly, HabariEntertainment.com. Catch us for more. Visit us, HabariEntertainment.com.
Welcome back. We're back here with Venton Blandin from ABC 15. He's been a journalist all across the country, and he's been giving us his backstory on what's going on and how he got into the journalism game. Now, I see that you covered the 2015 Emmanuel AME church shooting in Charleston. How was that, and what did you learn covering that story, and what was some of the things that you took out of that horrible shooting there in Charleston?
Let me think. Obviously, it's been a while, and I don't realize it's been that long ago
Yeah,
until.
about 6 years, 6, 7
And I
years
looked
ago,
at it the
man.
other day after the Buffalo shooting because I was
Mhm.
talking to the station about going to help our station in Buffalo. And for Charleston, I learned more about unity. I learned on a personal level unity,
Mhm.
just talking with people. Professionally, I really learned how to network a little bit, how to collaborate with the networks, how
Right.
to collaborate with competitors
Mhm.
or old friends who are
Right.
now traveling for their other stations to come
Mhm.
to Charleston and branch out. But that was a hard story,
Yeah, man.
but it was also easy in a sense for me because I like to connect and engage with people.
Right,
And
right,
to go down and talk and be in a community that I had lived in for that 1 year
right.
before leaving that station, it was really cool
Mhm.
to connect again in a way that was able to help the people.
Right. And
And
was that what drove you to it because you had been there before and you had a kind of a connection with the community?
I guess so, because the station needed people to go, and I was like, "Oh, I'll go." And they were like,
Right.
"Oh, you work there, right?" I was like, "Yeah, I used to work down there." So I still
Definitely.
remember the neighbors. I remember the council members. I remember,
Mhm.
and I was only there a year at that
Right, right.
station because I bounced sooner than I was supposed to.
Mhm.
But and it was so weird because I was at the ABC station
Yeah.
in Birmingham at the
Wow.
time that happened to be in the same company that owned that station, because I remember when I went to Birmingham, I was like, "Y'all know we ended this contract at your sister station." They're like, "Oh, we don't worry about that. We saw what it was. That's okay." So I was actually shocked to be hired by the same company
Wow.
again, which is cool. But when I went down there, I was working in the same station where I was terminated from, and the anchors were there. And I was like, so for me, it was kind of like I got chills right there. It was interesting because I was like, y'all didn't like me when I was here. Y'all talked bad about me
Mhm.
when I was here. But whatever, we worked fine, never had a problem.
Right,
Now,
right. But look at me now though.
but it was just so different. Then I was in the
Mhm.
higher market. So the ego kicked in then.
Right.
Ego is a
Throw,
bad
throw,
thing.
you know what I'm saying? Throw some money in.
Yeah, but ego is a bad thing.
It
You
is a
have to
bad thing.
kill your ego daily.
Definitely.
So I was still young,
Mhm.
I guess only 7 years younger than I am now,
Right,
but it was very different. It taught me a little bit of humility.
right.
um, After that, I was fine, and I still, to this day, the boss is there now. I still talk with,
Yeah.
on Facebook, Twitter, and things like that. Text messages, the GM. It's just one of those things. People when they leave jobs,
Mhm.
sometimes it's not really incompetence; it's just a fit.
Yeah.
So they kind of renewed me there, but I learned a lot: humility, confidence. The ego is bad, but
Right.
yeah.
You when you're I want to go over a little bit of how it works to be a journalist. Now, is it you do a lot of writing? So if you did you go to writing in college? Did you focus on that, or did you focus more on the journalist concept when you were in college?
Now write this down because this is going to be a shock. And I used to not say this, but I never graduated college.
Wow.
Was that a button, a sound effect, or was that legit?
That was me.
Okay.
That was me.
But if you look at my body, and I get chills because I get very emotional with it. If you go back to my career,
Right.
99 DC, working at NBC News Washington. I started as an intern for a couple of months, and they realized, oh, you know your job, so let's pay you to do this.
Right.
I was like, oh, I'm up here at NBC News, Meet the Press and all that, White House covers. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna come back and do college, man. Yeah,
Wow.
I can come back. Man, that was 99. So, but I'm blessed. I'm fortunate. It's a very non-traditional route, but I did go to Bowie State University, and
Right.
I left before I graduated, and I
Wow.
just pulled my credits because I thought this station here in Phoenix, they pay
Mhm.
your tuition up to $4,000 a year or something
Wow.
like that. And I'm like, man, I need an honorary degree. I'll take a degree in basket weaving at this point. I
Right.
don't want to do any more school. Education is important,
Oh,
but I'm okay for now. That's in quotation marks if you can't see me. But I attended the school. I
mhm.
did liberal arts, so I didn't do journalism school and something
Okay.
like that. I had an agent once who told me, I would have bet my salary you graduated from a journalism
Yeah.
school. I
That's
was like, no.
wow.
So mine is truly on the job training. So when
Wow.
people who hear this say, oh, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do this. Some famous people who didn't graduate college.
Right.
Matt Lauer is one. I
Wow.
think Peter Jennings did not
Wow.
graduate.
And these are some great
I think Jeff Bezos didn't graduate. I might be misspeaking on that, but there are several big timers who have
Yeah.
never graduated school,
Mm-hmm.
and not to say that's
Well,
you know,
on the job training, I mean, it equals every year equals what, like 2 years of college, 3 years of college, something like that. So
yeah.
being able to do the job is number one. Schooling is just icing. If you're not able to get into it, and I think that's another thing. Some
Right.
people are not able to get it, like you
Yeah.
were able to get your hands in it and start going. Some people don't have that opportunity, so they have to go to school just to gain that opportunity.
And
But
it was hard. And I see
hey,
some things every now and then. I'm like, ooh, my focus and concentration. And even now, I want to go back to school, but I'm like, I ain't got
hey,
time.
man, it's hard,
It's
bro.
just like, can I just get an honorary degree? I know what I'm doing.
Right.
I've been in the job 30 years. Can y'all just equate that with my 35
Man.
credits? Can y'all just like,
Right.
yeah. And people like you, but whatever. So look, I'm getting exhausted thinking about it.
Right. So what is your future? Do you see yourself as a anchor man one day, or do you want to be a journalist, a video journalist, or what do you call anchor, or what do you call the people that's on the scene? I forget.
Well, we're reporters on the
Okay,
scene. The
reporters.
anchors are the
Okay.
ones anchoring the desk.
Okay.
I used to have a high vision of wanting to be an anchor.
Uh-huh.
And I have anchored before. I've done weekends and I've
Okay.
done mornings before, and I think I'm pretty cool at that with the
Right.
personality. Some people might not think so. Some people may, because that's about when you're hired.
Mhm.
But then, as I grew into the industry, I wanted to be that good reporter.
Okay.
Because reporters are the ones that go out and get the story and
Yeah,
bring
man.
it to the anchor,
Yeah.
which I never understood. Anchors get paid the most money. I'm like, wait,
It
we're
is
the ones
weird.
gathering the acorns to
Right.
bring to
And you the
the
guys are on the
nest.
scenes.
But
Yeah.
it's all good. I get it. It's marketing and all that.
Mhm.
But then my vision had changed because remember I stepped out. I was like, I'm good. I'll just be an agent or a coach
Right.
because I like the network. I've liked
Mhm.
to help people get jobs. I like to mentor, mold, and develop and things like that. And I will say, probably within the last year, maybe my first year at the DOJ,
Mhm.
I was thinking, maybe I should really go back and kind of do management.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not. And I thought about that a little bit when I was doing the interviews.
Right.
And then they were like, oh, you should go into management. I said, no, I'm not ready for that. I don't trust managers. Yeah, that's not me. That's not me. You know, us minions always say, don't trust managers. They'll do this. But even coming to this company, I'm leaning more on doing that.
Yeah.
I've had some conversations with some people around the country in our company who are motivating me, talking to me,
Right.
teaching me, and molding, trying to get me to do that. But I'm also big on diversity. So
Yeah.
my boss here was like, hey, you need to get a focus. You seem like you're all over the place with your thoughts on that.
Mhm.
But I think that's okay.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
people's goals change. You know, don't ever feel you have to do something just because people tell you you have to do it.
That's real.
You may like it now.
Mm-hmm.
In 3 years, you might not.
may
We all
not.
grow.
Yeah.
So I have evolved as a journalist and evolved as a person. So
Mhm.
I think my next steps would either be in diversity or management at this point.
Wow. Management.
And I'm getting too old. It's like, look, you know, doing these jumping jacks, side strata hops, reporting
Mhm.
Olympics. You know, it's
And
like
you got to travel. You got to pull your whole life and go over there, and you be there for at least a week trying to get everything.
Well, daily I do local news, but some of those correspondents, and you know, I
Mhm.
had a big goal of being a correspondent. I had
Right.
networking at some of these great stations, and at the networks, you have friends in the industry, and I
Mhm.
mean, you can text on. There are some on the network news now who I text and talk to,
Right.
and send story ideas, and we chat. And I was like, oh, hey, if I come out here, I'm gonna see you. You know, we can't be happy on the air with that or on social media because sometimes it's tragedy, but it's really good when you can get out and see things and get a change of scenery.
Mm-hmm. Hey, now we were talking about some of the rules and some of the things that people don't realize that they cannot do when they are podcasters and they're telling the news online. Can you give us a couple things that maybe some people who are running a podcast or they'll be trying to become journalists themselves that they don't really think about, that they may trip themselves up and get themselves in trouble?
Yeah, a big thing is, and this is, how do I say it? So, a journalist is a journalist. You know, we don't have opinions. We tell the story. We
Okay.
all sides, and we create an objective viewpoint. Like you have cable news.
Mm-hmm.
Most people look at cable news and say, "Oh yeah, they're newscasters." Most people on cable news are commentators. A commentator can go on and say whatever they want,
Okay.
opinions. Like The View, that's not a newscast. That's a show. So when they give opinions, they can
Okay.
give opinions.
Okay.
You won't see ABC 15 coming on. Oh, so yeah, that happened today and we do this. So yeah, I think this is, we will present it in a different way. So first of all, keep your opinion out of it.
Wow.
People don't care what I think. People
Right.
just want their news. Now,
Okay.
it's a lot of gray area now because some people use the word, oh, I researched this. Well, research is not looking for what you're wanting to find. Research
Right.
is finding something, working and looking at it, and starting over again to get the answer. It's like research
Mhm.
critique and all
Definitely.
that. That's another element. But I would say attribution.
Mhm.
You don't want to say Damon ran down the street and slapped the woman. I
Right.
need to say police say Damon ran down the street and slapped the woman.
Right.
Then I also say I hate the word allegedly.
Mhm.
In my stories, I think if somebody were to go look at all my stories here, I usually don't say police say he allegedly shot the woman.
Okay.
I will typically change it to police say he shot the woman.
Okay.
He is accused of shooting the woman.
Accused.
Police believe he was the shooter.
Okay.
Things like that. Because
Right.
allegedly is just overused. People think
It
it's
is.
going to save them, and it's not. So attribution is another thing.
Mhm.
Plagiarism, don't do it.
Wow.
Don't do it. You can look at something, understand it, research it, and call on your own and reshape it your way, but it cannot be, oh, I copied this,
Right.
because obviously I'll look at stations across the other parts of the country and see some story ideas. So I'll say, oh, let me see if what worked in Kansas City or St. Louis
Right.
has worked here, what's worked in Birmingham, what's worked in Baltimore, what's worked in Charleston, what's worked in Greenville. Those are when you get experience in different markets. That's what you do. You take some of what you've learned and some ideas that you've learned and see
Mhm.
if they can work in this particular market.
Wow.
And that's how that is. So those are just some few things I think. But you have to be curious.
Definitely.
If you're thinking, wow, I was driving down 32nd Street, they knocked down that building. I see they got a construction sign up. Your brain is probably like, what's that going to be?
Right.
So call the city
Wow.
or the county. Be like, hey, I saw y'all got a development plan. Let's go to the planning and zoning. Let's go to council and see what's
Yeah.
approved.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're bringing a new Walmart.
Okay.
Wow. Then you could look at another thing. Is this a low income community? Is this a place that's being gentrified?
Wow.
Like whatever. If you're curious, just check it out.
Man,
And that's how story
you
ideas
hear
come.
this? This is game.
All right.
This is what this is. And I'm trying to learn this because what we're trying to do.
Okay.
I'm trying to build a news network.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's what I want to do. I mean, our website is what I do right now is I'm bringing in stories from other places. I always make sure I say where the story is coming from. Definitely. And we always put in ABC 15. This is from this from this site. We do our own stories also. I want to get to a point where it's all our stories. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's the mission in life. But talking to people like you definitely is will help me because I want to learn. I hope in the future I can be able to contact you and text you and
Of
ask you
course.
questions, brother, and that will help me out, man, a lot, bro, because we're trying to learn, man, because I don't know how much you could say about this, but it's to me it's like it's not enough black owned networks. There are some, and we have nothing in Phoenix. We have some newspapers, but I want to get some visual things going. I know it's going to be hard, but that's my dream is to build a network, to be like an ABC 15 for us, and that's my mission. That's my end goal.
Yeah.
So somebody like you talking about managing and doing things like that, that would be awesome because I think people need to learn these things because we need to start getting our own stories out instead of just depending on someone else to tell those stories because those stories are being kicked to the side too many times when we don't get the airwaves or the headlines that we're supposed to get in the neighborhoods where a lot of these things are happening. So
Yeah. And let me expand on that because, as a journalist, if I'm interviewing someone, you
Mhm.
tell me something that I know isn't true, I have to challenge that. So what I would encourage you to keep that dream, always do it, that's your journey. If
Definitely.
you want to do it, if you say you want to build a spaceship and be the first one to go to Mars in whatever years,
Mhm.
I shouldn't say, oh no, man, if that's what you want to do. But I will say, do your research, understand the challenges. You have a sales department, news department, engineering department,
Right.
there are so many things in
Definitely.
broadcasting than just me
Definitely.
on TV. You
Mhm.
got audio, you got production. Same thing like some of this.
Right.
This is So this is a microcosm,
Yes.
basically. But also, and when they say our stories are not being told, they're not being told enough, but they're out there. Our station, we really do a lot with uplifting the community. We do a lot. I'm on the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion board for our station. For the viewers and listeners who don't know, we have that. We have that.
Yeah.
We meet once a month as the committee in the newsroom.
Okay.
After that, we meet once again in the month as a whole for the entire station.
Okay.
If you're sales, whatever department you're in that meeting,
Okay.
and we just had one the other day. How do you see me? Talking about people with disabilities. We
Right.
look at low income. We look at elderly. We look at veterans. We look at the gay, lesbian, LGBTQ. I apologize for all that, but we do that. We look at socioeconomic status.
Right.
There's everything that's out there. We sit and critique and talk about our coverage for
Okay.
the last month. And we make a conscious effort to make sure that we tell every story.
And this, so you guys try to make sure that you're
We
diverse
do
on the
this. Our
stories.
company is
diverse
big on
Okay.
that. I mean, one challenge though, we have something that we do. And, there are just not a lot of people who are diverse in some positions,
Right.
because some positions people hold those for 20, 30 years at their company.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that ain't my fault that
Right.
you hired me, so we can't always get that Latino person
Right.
or spokespeople for a police department.
Right.
Because sometimes, and those are inner things, but we try to convey that.
Mm-hmm.
We tell the stories we like to tell, like we're reaching out to Navajo Nation.
Okay.
We're doing stories like that. So we try to be diverse in everything. So I just want to challenge you a little bit, say we try to tell those stories. They're
Right.
not always told. And then you get some people, oh, I don't want to go on camera.
Right.
Well, if you don't want to play TV, I can't do the job.
Right. No, man, that's what I want. I want to learn. So I mean, that's great that you guys are going out and doing that, because you think that it doesn't exist, and you're looking at some of the things. And so how would you come up with the story? Is it the editor in chief? He makes the final say of what's going on, or can you have more say on what you think a story you want to cover and everything?
Let me show you an example. I'll get on my work phone real quick. So just like I said, let me see, one phone here, I keep a running list of ideas on my phone just whenever I want to bring them up.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna read them all in case I got a competitor listening, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This is a list of 14 news ideas that
Okay.
just popped in my head. I write them down. Now, some days I can't quite do this one. That's not going to work today. Ooh, cops are doing wonderful things for low income students. Well, on the day of an officer involved shooting, I really can't glorify them,
Right,
so I have
right.
to keep it objective.
Wow.
So let's table that for a different day.
Mm.
But it's curiosity. Whatever you do, the stories that I pitched yesterday, we have this system. Hopefully I can go in archives. So I see. But basically, you just throw out in the mornings. They have a meeting, I think, at 9 or 9:30. That's for all the people that work dayside. They work do the 4, 5, and 6. I go in at 2:00. We have a meeting at 2:30. Y'all remember the TMZ days where you sit
Yeah,
around?
definitely. Everybody sit
And that's
around
how
the
we do.
table.
We just
Okay.
say, "Hey, man,
Throw
so
stuff at each
let me
other.
think." Yesterday I said, "Oh, let me talk about the president signed on Monday a ban for infant sleeping products.
Right.
That might speak to parents like yourselves.
Mhm.
God forbid they have to worry about what they put their kids in. They're already worrying about baby formula.
Right.
Oh, panic hysteria. So let's talk about that and see who
Yeah.
has this old equipment
Right.
and see why it's being recalled
Right.
and find out you might not even know you're walking around with what's recalled. So I want to do that.
Mhm.
I also pitched something at John McCain Elementary School.
Okay.
Not going to say the details because I don't want a competitor to get it, but
Definitely.
the timing wasn't right on that. It
Mm.
was 2:30. We probably wouldn't have gotten there at the time. A third idea was talking about the car crashes this week, the highest level of traffic deaths in 16 years. So I want to do that because we have wrong way crashes.
Yeah, too much.
I had some other ideas yesterday. I can't remember. I told you it's passive, but what I ended up on, a producer needed help yesterday getting something on the 2 cases of monkeypox. There's a confirmed case in Connecticut, and there's a possible case in New York.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Oh, Vinny, can you do this quick Zoom call?" I was like, "I gotta go on the story." "Oh, it's at 3:15. sure, I'll do it. So
Okay.
I had to do that. Well, by that time, I couldn't get to the story I was going to do.
Right.
So I said, well, let me go wander down where that fire was. They got those people over in North Phoenix. So I went down and wandered around, didn't have a story, but we found these people hurting. And I ended up finding a person who rescued and
Wow.
pulled those 3 people out of the flames.
Mm-hmm.
Next door, I found the guy who, hey, the house is on fire, to the other people.
Wow.
So that was my story last night at 10. So I was live in front of the shell of a mobile home.
Wow.
So we always throw out ideas and you have to stack them. Your story might be great, but it might not work today.
Right.
Or your story might be great. We just don't have a photographer who's
Right.
out sick.
Mhm.
Or, it's like
Yeah.
everything evolves, and what's good today might not be good tomorrow. There's some days I could have pitched, oh, you remember Habari Entertainment? They got their studio. It's over here in Chandler.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. And we not gonna do that. But God forbid, not speaking this up, but say young man who has his sports show, he was killed, all his stuff was robbed. I might say, hey, Damon, Iesha, Jimmy, remember y'all got a studio like that. Let's talk
Right.
about what it's like to get this stuff. What's it,
Right.
everything matters. You
Definitely.
weigh emotions, you weigh time of day, you weigh presidential stuff, network
Right.
stuff. It's all kinds of decisions, so many factors.
That's crazy. And you have to think about the sensitivities. Those things that I don't think we think about that much. What's up?
I had a question too, but I just didn't want to like butt in.
Oh,
Just
I
butt in.
thought that was a 5-minute cue.
Just butt in, bro.
No,
Okay, sorry.
no. What's the craziest thing you've seen like in this? Oh yeah,
In Phoenix, because see, that's the thing. People always ask you, what's the best story? I've been in TV almost 30 years. It is so hard for me to pick one.
Right.
One of the craziest things in Phoenix, let's see, almost 7 months in now. And it's all relative. What's crazy for me might not be crazy for someone else.
or like not just like probably. I don't want to say like the craziest thing ever, but like the craziest thing you can remember. Just not like just in Phoenix.
It would probably be something recent. Let me see. Craziest. I mean, I've seen somebody shot and killed at a repast for a funeral. I've seen. Oh man, it's so many weird things. It's bad. Say, I've seen some wild homicides. I've seen some weird fights.
Man, you sound like you went through Batman adventures.
I mean,
like,
St. Louis, Baltimore,
Yeah.
Chicago. I mean,
Man.
these are some of his
I've
high murder
seen,
rate cities, man.
I've covered a man who killed his 2 children and wife. He shot the wife and cracked her neck.
Wow.
He cracked the necks of his children and
Mm.
put them. He cracked the neck of their bird and put all of them in bed and tucked them into bed with the cover over them like they were sleeping. That's something that sticks out.
How do you how do you
I just looked up at Aisha Faceman, like her reaction.
Yeah, that's crazy. How do you
The
tell
bird?
these stories and not
Took the bird too?
affect your life?
Yeah,
Like affect how you look at life or affect how you look at people.
it's weird. I don't know, but military, it's trauma,
Yeah,
and that's why I
'cause-
say people always attack the media. We're not the enemy.
Right.
Local news, we don't do what cable news does. We care about the communities we live. We live here. We know people here.
Mhm.
We go to the same grocery stores,
Right, right.
churches. So I'm always taken aback by people who think, "Oh, I just wake up. Well, let me go attack Damon,"
Yeah.
and I ain't got enough time and
Right.
energy. But it's like we care about the places we live.
You
I've only
wouldn't
been here
cover it,
7
right?
months.
You
I
wouldn't
care.
cover it if you didn't care.
I might not know everybody here, might not
Right.
love everybody yet, but I mean, I genuinely love the
Yeah.
community I live. I don't want to see things happen in my neighborhood.
Man, I hate
So-
it. That so many people are so anti-media. I wanted to ask you too. The last 5 years, we've seen the rise of anti-media and the media hate, and people really coming at the media, disliking which side the media is on, liberal or conservative. The way Fox News is going. Do you agree? I know it's kind of hard for you to do. I don't want to get you in
'cause I
trouble on
can't
none of
say
those.
anything, right?
I know, but do you think that a Fox News is it? Do you think those are leading us in the right direction, or do you think those type things are kind of hurting what's going on, the way the story should be told at say a ABC 15?
Let me
Because they're more of a, as you would say, commentary channel, then ABC would be a more of a news channel to me.
I I want to get into the specifics of stuff like that because obviously I can't talk. That's my job. But I would say I would encourage people to watch as many outlets as they want.
Yes, watch them all.
I would love for you to always watch me,
Right,
but watch whatever you want to watch and make your own decision.
definitely.
I would say there is a disconnect with journalists and commentary. Watch and let you figure it out. I would say, but we're at a point now where people believe what they believe.
Yeah,
We're not going to change anybody's
Right.
minds. So I would leave it at that. I think you get what I'm saying.
yeah,
Just
definitely.
watch everything and trust your information and go from there.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's been tough for the last few years. Do you think with the Twitter and online, do you think that takes away from reporting and the news angles that's going on with people today? Do you think that that seeing all these podcasts and all these other people telling their way of the story, is that taken away from the local news or hurting the local news sources being able to deliver great news?
I don't know if it impacts the quality of news that
Mhm.
local stations do because local stations will always do what they've been doing.
Right.
What I think it does, it takes away some of the eyeballs because we have 3 screens.
Right.
You used to just get at home and watch the news.
That's real.
You had nothing else.
That's that.
Now, I don't want to watch the news. I'll just watch on Twitter.
Hmm.
Or, oh, no, I'll just read the newspaper. Well, think about it.
Right.
What do you post? Some things you post stuff that you know.
Right.
Some things you post what you think you know.
Right.
Or what you heard. Oh, man, I just heard from Iesha. They got 3 people dead on that street.
Right.
Well, turn on news and police were on the camera. We have 1 person shot, no one died. It's just like, so you have to look at social media as anybody just posting.
Right.
Now, if it was a website that all journalists were posting, you should at least have some type of credence and understand it might be 100.
Right.
Because if you go to our websites, abc15.com, abcnews.com, those are journalists doing it.
Right.
So make your own decision, but it kind of
Yeah.
muddies the water, if
Right.
you will.
Yeah. I mean, because it seems like it's been tougher for the local news outlets. We've seen a lot of them dying lately because of cable and CNN, Fox taking all the eyes. I think it's a need for local news. I think local news is very, very, very important. They see the stories, the small stories of people that CNN and they don't tell. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
they're looking at a more of a worldly view, and I think somebody has to look at the local news.
Yeah.
Do you think that the future will help or hurt where the local news are going? Are we going to see less and less local news, or
I
do you
don't
think we're going to
know.
be able to connect the way to we can get the local news to be back as the forefront of news in a country?
I don't know because I'm kind of living in it and it evolves all the time.
Right,
Like we
right.
keep saying for those of us who are the old heads of the game, we're like, oh yeah, the industry is dying. It's not going to be around. Well, I don't
Right.
think it's going to die. I think every day we see it's dying, it's slow death. But that's because so many people believe what they see here.
Right.
And when they see it over there, they're like, oh, that's not what I
So
know.
weird,
But
bro.
and it's frustrating because, we are local and we're doing this. And what I tell people, because I forget the exact way you worded it, but to me, local news, our license, and this is any local station across the country, it is, we are supposed to serve the community, provide information, and protect them for their safety.
Right.
What that means, our license, we're really like, for us, we're only responsible for our newscast, that morning show, the 11 a.m. the newscast, 4, 5, 6, 10.
Mhm.
Our job is to give you the information you need to be safe and have the information.
Right.
Whatever else happens between when it's 7 to 9 with GMA, that's on ABC.
Okay.
The View, all those things.
Right.
We just fill those black holes between our newscasts with entertainment from the network. Affiliates rent the license like a contract from the affiliate that agrees. We'll fill your black space with our programming.
Right.
Then that's the difference. Like that happens all the time.
Right.
So
Hey, Well, it was great talking to you, Venton. Man, I love this. As you can see, this I
Pleasure.
really I wish that I would have got more into this when I was, and because media is just so important. And I think it's just a great way of letting people know that you can change the world with your voice. And I think that you are doing that city by city. And I want to go into I want to go into the game. Let's get it started. Say what?
Do a commercial.
Okay. What y'all laughing at?
Habari Entertainment Films present There's Only One Name for News with Damon and Iesha. Habari Live Podcast. Habari Entertainment. A race against time. On a quest for glory. Habari News Weekly, HabariEntertainment.com. Catch us for more. Visit us, HabariEntertainment.com.
I try to be.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We are here with Venton, Blandin, journalist, ABC 15 Phoenix. We want to let's send a shout out to our sponsors real fast while we haven't done that all day. Royal Elegance, what's that? June 4th.
Royal Elegance presents Be Loyal to the Royal in You.
Thank you.
Saturday, June 4th, starting at 10:30 a.m.
Mhm.
This will be located at the Peoria Community College, ages 16 and up.
Yep.
Get your tickets now at www.dayofcrowning.eventbrite.com.
All righty. Go out and get that today.
I'm thinking
The
about going
date
now.
is coming up, so don't miss this show. It's going to be very, very exciting and great as always. But let's go ahead and get into the game. If you, Venton, we have a couple questions for you. So we're gonna test your knowledge on journalism and see what you learned when you dropped out.
Right, because it's so funny. You know, you forget stuff. So we'll see.
Right.
We'll see what's up.
I graduated. I forgot everything the day it happened. So
He graduated.
yeah,
Okay, Joe
right.
College.
Let's
All right.
go.
So, in the final exam, there are 5 questions. If you get 3 out of the 5 correct, we'll donate to your charity of choice. Question 1. Which Emmy Award winner invented CBS News magazine 60 Minutes in 1968?
He said, all I hear is,
Who invented the show? Gosh,
I
I done
don't
been
know
all
either.
Barbara Walters.
No, not. Can
I
I
don't
tell
think
you
it
who
was
it's not?
Barbara.
Like,
Michael Jackson.
is that like the executive producer or who invented the show?
Invented CBS News magazine 60 Minutes
Wow.
in 1968.
Who was the original dude?
Right. Was Don? I don't know.
Don Cornelius?
No.
No, I'm thinking of Don Cornelius. Wow.
This
ain't Soul Train.
Right. I can't tell you. But I done been all throughout 60 Minutes studio and I don't know.
It was a brother that was on there for a long time too, and I don't even know his name either.
That would
Bradley, something Bradley.
I don't know who
Don
did-
Hewitt.
Okay, see, I said Don. I thought it was Hewitt. But
I'm
I was
so
like,
proud. I said Don Cornelius. So there you go.
No. Man, come on. I know the listeners knew that's
Don
what I'm saying.
Hewitt.
I'm like,
Don.
Don Hewitt? I don't know. Was he the
Al Sharpton.
Okay.
Next question.
Say Al Sharp.
I'm kidding. I know who he is. He's
In 1959,
Oh my goodness.
this journalist,
You heard the date.
author of the acclaimed book Black Like Me, darkened his skin in an attempt to experience segregation in the American South.
Wow.
I ain't even gonna try. I don't know, but that's the year my mama was born, so I wasn't thought about.
Right. I don't know either. He darkened his skin, so he went with blackface.
He was a journalist and author of the book called Black Like Me.
Right.
He also darkened his skin to attempt to experience segregation.
I didn't
That
know.
would be John Howard Griffin.
I ain't never heard of him.
Yeah, I knew that.
Sounds familiar now, but I didn't
You
know
heard of
that
him?
story.
Nah, the answer's right here.
So
Still, well, my done. I need like 7 more questions.
You suck.
I ain't the history buff.
Hey, one more time.
You said
We
you
got
suck.
2 more.
Next question. This American journalist awarded 2003 Gerald R. Ford Prize for distinguished reporting on the presidency took part in uncovering the Watergate scandal.
Oh, Bob Woodard and well, is it one? Because it should be 2.
Yeah, it was a couple people.
There was a couple people, but Bob Woodard is who I was looking for.
Yeah, he got it. That's dude that be on on CNN all the time with the slick back gray hair.
Ooh, I should have
Yeah.
studied this week. They like, you call yourself a journalist?
Next question. This is the collection,
Anxiety.
preparation, and distribution of news and related commentary through features like print and electronic media.
This is the process?
This is the collection, preparation, and distribution of news and related commentary through features like print and electronic media.
Electronic news gathering?
Broadcasting?
I mean, see, I'm being all technical. E&G electronic news gathering, journalism.
Journalism.
That's all it is journalism?
It's journalism.
I'm like-
Wow.
All right.
That's
Triggering.
crazy. That's
Extra
definitely a
depth.
trick question, man.
Right.
I had to
Set
throw
up.
something out
Right,
there.
right, right. She
That's
had
just
to-
Is that 5 already?
That's
No.
4.
Oh, okay.
I'm keeping count. I'm very competitive. If y'all don't know. When it comes to
Last and
time,
final question.
I've lost friendships over it.
Last and final question.
I read it.
Name the 6 conglomerates. I can't.
Conglomerate.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
have pronounced that
conglomerate.
word. I wouldn't have pronounced that
I'll
word,
give
bro.
my dog
I ain't
two
finna lie to you.
conglomerate.
I would have said conglomerate.
Look, I practiced this word like 50 times
You
last
still
night, and I
messed it
still
up.
can't get it.
One tip: don't practice more than 5 times because it gets stuck in your head.
Wrong.
Conglomerates.
Every time.
What did you call it?
Conglomerate.
No, don't. You
Conglomerates?
just gonna mess it up.
No,
Right.
conglomerates.
Yeah.
Name the 6 conglomerates.
It's just
Don't hop on
Don't do
me.
it. Don't do it.
Okay, I'm just not gonna do it no more.
Right.
That
Name the
own the
6
most
things.
media outlets.
now.
Dang.
These 6 companies own the most
All of
media outlets.
Okay. See, this is different, but I'm gonna go here because I'm assuming you're meaning local news,
Nah, I think you're meaning
Like
you
or
big
mean the
news?
networks, or
Most media
see, and that's the thing.
outlets.
Media outlets could be very.
So, like-
but let me give you a couple of answers. I'm gonna go with local news. So you have Nexstar Broadcasting, you have Sinclair Broadcasting, you have. Let me see who somebody else just became the 3rd largest. Nexstar, Sinclair.
Habari Entertainment.
Am I going the right way?
Nope.
Oh, okay. So now we're gonna go the big way.
Yeah, that's what I think she's talking about.
Okay. I mean,
Fox, NBC, ABC.
because they're not. ABC is actually small, but ABC is Disney, ESPN, all those. So if you want to go that route, I can give you Disney, Paramount / Viacom CBS.
Viacom, yeah.
NBC is not really one. Fox Corporation owns Fox News, Fox Business, Fox TV stations. The largest. ABC has 13 owned and operated stations, but they have Disney and ESPN. Amazon, is Amazon technically it? Hulu?
I think Hulu is Disney also.
See, and that's the thing, streaming. It depends on
Disney got everything.
They're definitely one of them.
So,
Like
He's got 3 out of the 6. We got Disney, Viacom, and CBS.
okay, Disney, Viacom, CBS. Yes.
We need 3 more.
Is it Warner Brothers Discovery? Because that's CNN's Warner Brothers Discovery,
That's not on there.
which is now
Really?
Discovery.
I'm sleep on the last 3.
And see, I try to make sure I got the right media.
Yeah, that's
I
tough.
was thinking local.
Nickelodeon. I was.
Well, that's under
Oh,
Viacom.
that's Viacom. Yeah, that's
Oh.
You have
Viacom.
TNT, USA Networks, and we're Scripps. We own Ion and Court TV. I don't know. I bet I know them, but I'm probably not processing.
That would be Time Warner,
Oh,
Okay,
that's
so
what you said.
that's-
Warner.
Yeah,
That's
News
so-
Corp,
that's
Oh,
Fox. Okay, so I got 5.
and General Electric.
NBC.
Why does they
Well,
say
NBC, GE sold to NBC.
They're
Universal.
yeah, they're in the same building and everything, huh? With that rock.
So wait, did he get all of
Yeah.
them right? But just
Right,
worded
just
different?
different.
Just
names.
different
Yeah,
names.
different names. Yeah.
You
got 'em.
I know I was struggling. I'm like,
No, man, because it's hard to know the names that they go by.
and
The
General
parent
Electric is,
company.
and
That's the parent
smart.
company
Right,
for the.
right.
GE
It's hard.
sold to NBC Universal when they switched their thing. And Time Warner just closed a deal 3 weeks ago. They're now owned by Discovery.
Yep.
Yeah, and Discovery's doing a hell of a job kicking a lot of shows off TV.
Right.
They are cleaning
I
up.
know they really are. They're about to reshape.
Yeah.
Same thing. Like we own We're on Scripps Broadcasting. We own Court TV. We
Okay.
own Bounce. We own like this station.
Yeah.
That's all of us.
Scripps, and I've showed you said it. I'm like, yes, you see it everywhere. So
The
you know,
Lighthouse
yeah, the
logo.
white, yeah, definitely. So yeah, man, you didn't win, but you definitely played well, right? 2.
I won.
2 out of 5.
Where's the timekeeper? We gotta replay the.
He's
video.
on his phone. He's not
We
paying
gonna play
attention.
the
Yes, I
video.
am. He got the second one right. I think
Because
he got
remember I
the
had
third
like
one.
3 with the other names.
He
I
got
had
the third,
time.
He got 3.
and he got 3.
Yeah, he got 3.
Yep, you got 3.
So there you go. So now you have to send us
Look at you.
your favorite charity.
Send us an email with your charity of choice, and we'll
Okay.
donate over to them for you.
Benny's electric bill. That AC be kicking. I see I'm in the valley.
Man, dude, hey man, I
was
don't even
fun,
want to
though.
start on electric.
Man.
That's a really big
And
conversation out
I'm
here
kinda-
too.
I'm
It's
new
like,
too.
what do you keep your AC on out here? It's a really
I'm new to this heat
Yeah,
too.
man,
Oh
it's-
my gosh.
It's people that's crazy. We
I
work with
figured it
people.
out.
They keep their shit at like 70 degrees. Like
I know people
cold.
that keep theirs at like 62.
That's you.
Yeah.
Woo.
People tell me I don't have a lot of visitors at my house here, but people say, "Gosh, you have a meat locker." And I'm
Right.
like, "But you're supposed to sleep cold." And now I'm not freezing, but people like it's cold. But here, I used to keep it on AC about 70. It was about 68 because I usually would do
Wow.
that in the normal climate. But here, I think I keep my heat on 74
Mhm.
because I think looking at my bill, I just paid my bill yesterday. I paid $111 for my electric bill.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but I keep it on constant. But I think if I keep the heat on,
Hmm.
it will shut off power because it's warm. But if I keep the AC on, it's going to keep pushing power to keep the house cold.
Yeah.
So it's staying where it is. It's just like if this is our barometer, I'm keeping it here. It's working to stay here rather than working to keep
to
it
get
there. So
there. Yeah.
it's the same temperature regardless. So I would say play with it, troubleshoot a little bit,
Yeah.
research. You know how to say find out what works. But
Definitely.
I think now I keep it on heat
Right.
at this temperature. That way, when it's warm, it
Wow.
stops.
I've never
putting
heard
the
that before
power.
in my life.
Me
You
either.
learn how to investigate as a report. You like, I know this bill ain't right. Let me figure this out. But try that. Try that at the house. And then when I'm gone from work, I will change it a little bit
Mm.
to let it get a little warm when I'm not there. So when I come in, I'll hit
Hit
the preset.
Yeah.
that will
And it'll cool it
off
down
and
just a
keeps it
little
there.
bit. Right. And because they always say don't turn it all the way off because it has to work harder.
And that's what I'm saying by
Right.
keeping the heat on in a hot area. Like
Mhm.
if I was in another place, I would keep, it's different. Like extreme
Yeah.
temperatures, it's weird. I'll have to look at it and get back to you.
And
But
you know they
there's
got the-
some way I've changed it.
the swamp coolers out here. That's you ever heard of that? That's some places don't have air conditioners out here. They use swamp coolers because it's so dry. You can use a swamp cooler. It pretty much takes the moisture out the air.
Man, let me tell you about this heat
It
out here.
puts humidity into the air. That's what the swamp cooler is
But
supposed to
it
do.
takes the humidity out the air and makes it into
Is this a
cool air.
humidifier?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
But it's
almost.
it's a-
It's a fancy humidifier.
it has to use outside.
Yeah.
It has to be pointed outside though, because it's drawing out outside air. Some people have those instead of air conditioning.
The thing that throws me off is like, St. Louis, you can feel yourself sweat. I be sweating, I even realize out here.
Yes.
I do not feel myself sweating at all.
Humidity is ugh.
And you feel it like you get all sticky and gross.
Yeah, humidity is
But I
different.
thought that was normal. Now I'm here. I'm like,
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Do I like this?
It's different, man.
Like I'll go to work and I like, under my arms. I'm like, hold up. I don't know where that came from.
Jimmy Jim?
Take a shower, Jimmy.
I do. I mean, it's hot outside. What do you want me to do?
I'm with you when you're right, but I said, what's he doing with his
Right.
Right.
I don't know, bro. I think I got it. Anyway, that's about the end of the show, big dog.
Right.
That's about the end of the show. Let's go on close.
That's the end of the show.
On that
But
note,
we're gonna thank you, Venton, again for coming through and
Appreciate it.
teaching us a few things. We really appreciate it, and hopefully we can stay in touch in the future and definitely become a friend of the show and everything. Thanks everybody for watching. Episode 29? 29. Thank you, and we'll have this up live soon.
Holla,
And,
holla.
until next week, peace.
Bye. Love y'all. You know what I'm saying? Oh.
Outro.